Hi everyone, as you know, we are with a team in Korea in order to practice and get ready for words and improve as much as we can right before the upcoming events. So you were many to ask questions and I'm here to answer them. So the first question is, what do you think about your group and which team you fear the most? Um, I think our group is the hardest to predict who are going to qualify for quarterfinals. It might be the group where you cannot see clearly who's going to dominate, whereas in Group C you have the favorites. In Group D you might think about the two favorites too. I think ours might be the toughest ones. Yeah, you know, Fnatic is prone to have a really hard group afterwards, but I believe that it's going to be a really good test for us. If we ever qualify, then considering that we have a hard group, then it will be a good confident boost, and I believe that IG is a really strong team because lately in the LPL, in the Gauntlet, they had to face really strong teams that might be like really high contenders for the World Cup, but we have to win against any teams if we want to be a contender too. So it will be a really uh, a good show for us, a good experience. And then you have AHQ, the team that beat us at MSI. It was a really tough game for us, but we've improved so much since then. And there is Cloud9, of course. They had a lot of games during NA, LCS for the Gauntlet too. So, but we're all here to prove how worth we are, and we don't really fear anyone, because if you fear a team, it will get to your head and then it will affect your emotions and you might not play at your level, and you have to show up every game afterwards. You have to take them one by one and play at your highest level, so you will have no regrets. Alright, let's move forward to the second question. What do you think about the current ladder, and do you think that the bootcamp improved a lot our teamwork? First of all, I think the Korean solo queue, we've experienced it last year since we've bootcamp as well. It was a really cool experience. You get more diversity. What's better in this Korean solo queue, I'd say, is the reaction of everyone. Considering that we're not a team, the reactivity is so fast. Like, people are just TPing whenever they can from the top lane. Then the team play is really good. For example, the opponent knows that the enemy top laner doesn't have TP, then he will look forward to gank the bot lane with the mid lane synergy. So you might have like a 5-man gank in the bot lane or 4-man gank in the bot lane, or let's say they want to contest above, then they will just coordinate everything without even talking. So it will just feel natural to look at the minimap and then just follow the movement of your teammates. So it feels like, even though they don't know each other, it's like playing in a team in a sense. So it's you get the basics way faster and you improve easier, and you get to know how to react really fast. Which is really rare in Europe solo queue, where everyone does whatever he wants to. People here in Korea in solo queue gets a bit mad when people do mistakes or when someone feed, even though it's not on his mind to just purposely fail, you know. So let's say he TP's bot, and then after getting a kill, he will instantly go for the Drake, even though he's bad for his lane. He's just playing like as a team player. So this is the mindset they have. But mostly we came here in Korea to improve as a team. So solo queue is great, but it's something aside from our team practice. So we would value way more practicing against teams that we cannot face when we're in Europe. So um, we were here to play against the best teams, we believe, because the Korean scene has been so dominant for the 2 past years, and we get to play against Korean teams, against like LCK teams, like in teams that placed like last or the best teams. Even we get to play against Chinese teams from LPL, and we get to play against Taiwanese teams as well. So what is good to us is that we don't have any Korean teams in our group, so we can practice against anyone. Against Chinese teams, it's a bit the same except IG, so we didn't get to play against IG obviously because we don't want to reverse strategies. Third question is, have you already considered your future after the Worlds in case Fnatic loses or wins? To be honest, we are not the kind of guys that are going to plan in advance of what we're going to do. Like when we're going to a tournament, we are taking the games like one by one. So you have to give everything in the game you're going to play. You cannot think about the next games that are going to happen, because imagine it means that you might be overconfident, or you might think about, oh, we're gonna lose against a stronger team. So no, not at all. We have to give everything we have in a game, so you don't mess up with any kind of plan. You don't think about, oh, let's say afterwards, imagine we win, then we're gonna go on holidays and everything's gonna be alright. No, you must focus every single game, and you will have more chances to be more focused, and hence you will have a better team play, better mindset. Well, we don't know at all, but everything we know is that we're playing a lot during the boot camp. We're not doing much aside of it. The time is so valuable, but I feel that this year we got more preparation because we were working hard all the previous month. It's not like, oh, Words is in 3 weeks, so we have to give everything we have during those 3 weeks. No, this is not the right approach. So we've started to build something slowly, and then we just keep improving day after day. So I think this is the right approach we had, and I hope it will pay off. So the fourth question is, how are scrims going in Korea? I know I cannot go into too many details, but what's good this year is that we started slowly. So we started to scrims against teams that were available first of all, but so that means since the LCS were being played first, I believe right after LMS, which is Taiwan. The other teams from LCK, LPL were still in playoffs, so it means that they had a lot of practice. So when we arrived in Korea, they just finished like the playoffs, so they took some days off, the best teams that were in the finals. So we could only get the lower teams that were preparing for promotions, so from LCK mainly. So we started slowly. We could like get to see how good they were and what they were playing, how's the meta like, and we could mainly get used to the picks that were being used here, because it's totally different than what we are using in Europe. So we get more diversity, we can adapt easier to the play styles, to the styles of the teams, and it was good to us. And then after a week or 10 days, the better teams that qualified for Worlds started practicing again. So we got to play against them, and they are pretty good. but we can somehow match up against them. I think the gap between the teams in the previous seasons is not as big as it is now. So this year might be more competitive, and there might not be a huge domination compared to the previous tournaments, hopefully. Uh, so yeah, all I can say is that I hope we will be up to your expectations, and Fnatic will do great afterwards. Next question is, do you feel confident and able to qualify for quarterfinals? Uh, when we're going to tournament, we're always thinking about how far we can go, if we can like rationally reach like semifinals or finals, which is usually our goal, like going for the trophy, the cup. Um, it would be a big disappointment for us because we've started early in the season as a new team, but we've put so much work and so much efforts on a daily basis that we expect to have some kind of results from it, right? So we've worked really hard, and throughout the summer split, even though we went on a perfect score, a perfect record, I think a lot of teams could have beaten us if they were slightly better. So we've struggled a lot, we had a lot of flaws, and we're here to improve. And even in the finals against Origin, the game were really close, and we were a bit lost in the sense that we sometimes didn't feel we got challenged too much, but it was good that it happened right before Worlds, so we got to taste the defeat and get that feeling. And oh, even though we had a perfect score, we want to improve, and we can improve way more. But yeah, I think we can make it out of group stage and qualify for quarterfinals if we play at our standards, and we really expect to perform this year, and we are giving everything because we're playing so much in the boot camp, and hopefully we will perform. Fnatic. So when you think about boot camp, you can wonder how a day is like. When we're in gaming house, the purpose of a gaming house is like practicing together many hours, so we don't have to waste time. No one is late, and we all can talk about the game anytime and do like team bonding. So okay, during the boot camp, it's you spend way more time practicing. So, for example, in the gaming house, we would play a set of scrims of maybe 5 games a day, 6 games a day. In Korea, it's way more tougher. You think about the game, you talk about the game, you play the game. Basically, it's like you sleep, eat, and play. So it depends on the schedule, but most of the time we will play up to 7 to 8 hours as a team, and then you get to play solo queue. So you could play up to 15 hours a day. Okay, you might think that it's tiring, but it's a lot of dedication, a lot of determination. If you want to improve and be the best, then you are not going to struggle. It might not be healthy, but we value the time really high here, and that's the purpose. Else, if we're not ready for it, then we might not be a pro gamer or a competitor. Because if you're a competitive, then you wouldn't mind doing anything in order to perform, and it suits the teams really well to just practice a lot and be one of the best teams in the world. So personally, I wake up at 7 or 8, and then we have breakfast, we play solo queue, then we have a meeting around 11 or 12, but then we have scrims from 1 until 10, sometimes 11, with some breaks, of course, like a break of 1 hour between each set of scrims, and then we play solo queue. So we play solo queue in the morning and after scrims, and then we sleep. Obviously, we still have some days off, but we're still playing solo queue because we're gamers. So grinding the ladder is something we like to do, and we practice as a team and individually. Alright, so we're in Korea. Do Huni and Rangover show us some typical Korean stuff? Like, I think stuff by stuff you mean maybe, yeah, places to eat or some food. Of course, we're staying at a really good place, and they're making sure that everything is good, everything is going smooth, and they are taking care of us. So we have lots of food. We don't like anything, and to me and the Koreans, and I would say the ones that struggle the most with the food would be Reckless and Febiven. They are more like hamburger guys or pizza guys, so the Asian food would be a bit harder for them to eat. And hey, Huni. And yeah, of course, we get to experience it. I really like Asian food, so this is great to us. And the famous Korean barbecue, yeah, we've been there sometimes. You might think of kimchi, but yeah, I really like it. So the next question is, did you play in solo queue in some other lane except support, or trying new kind of supports like Trundle? Most of the time I'm asking for support because I really enjoy playing this role even in solo queue. So you get to test like new characters. You are trying. They are not like fans of trying things out. So let's say you are going to lock a character and you say I'm support, and those guys will be typing Korean. So for us, we cannot understand anything, and they will be like question mark, why are you doing this, or stuff like that. So they don't understand because Koreans are not the ones that find the good picks. They usually copy and play really good with them, and so it's hard. So you would theorize or play stuff you already know, and then yeah, you cannot really troll. You have to pick meta picks basically. But else, if I don't get my pick, I will not dodge, I will not try, I will just play and feel the role, of course, because it's always good to get to play against players that you don't know and practice any your mechanics and any role, and you have to understand how the other roles work. So if you main something, it's good to sometimes play something else. So yeah, you have to feel the roles. It's not an issue. Usually when you ask for your role, then they will give you, except if that guy that respect the pick order can only play one role, or he's gonna feel more comfortable on playing one role, then he's gonna take it. But they're not like trolling, and they dodge a lot in Korea. So for example, if you have two supports, they will, or two junglers, then they will know that there is low chances, especially if they have a good team composition, then they will have no trouble of just dodging the game, because instead of wasting like 20 minutes, then it's better to just dodge and waste 5 minutes and have a better chance for the next champ select. I know that bootcamping is like spending a lot of time in front of your screens, but yeah, I still do find time for gym in Korea because I feel like it's needed. So going for a run outside, or lifting some weights or something like that, and we have a gym in the building where we're staying at, which is really convenient to us. And yeah, you have to do something else than just eat, play, sleep. So if you are in a need of just going outside to eat, or going outside to walk or have a break, or I don't know, like just shopping or whatever, of course you're free to do that in your free time. So myself, yeah, I am still going to gym as much as I can. So maybe one every 2 days, or if I can every day, if I'm not too tired. Mm, Otherwise, in the game. So, do you think that the new patch will suit the team? It's not a big change from the last patch, so it's just some nerfs, right? I do think that it fits the team really well with the juggernauts in the top lane, the picks everywhere, so the game didn't really change except in the top lane mainly. And I think we can do great in this patch, so we will see how things work out. And regarding a player, support or not, that I look up to and want to face in words, I really want to play against the best teams, not a player in particular, but against the best teams, because I'm not sure if they are showing a lot in scrims, if they are playing different on stage and in scrims. So obviously you cannot expect someone to play as good in scrims as on stage, but it might be close, you know. So to see uh, how how much they're giving to how much importance they're giving to the scrims. I don't think Asian teams are trolling scrims at all. They might want to let you have some confidence or see what you're able to pull out in scrims. Maybe they, because they don't know, the only thing they can do is watch your competitive games, like in LCS or something like that, and they cannot really judge until we play against each other in a real game as scrims or competitive games. So the last question is, which bot lane are you looking forward to competing against and why? I don't really want to play against anyone in particular, but more of a team, so the best teams from China, from Korea, and anyone that sound really good. For example, Imp and PYL, or Deft and Mako. Basically, I know that they're really good, and you cannot really go straight to versus 2, right? Because there is a jungler, there is the top laner that can TP, so it's more of a team game, more than a 2v2. So of course, the laning phase is really important, but there are so many factors that you have to count going into the game, and then the draft will make the matchups imbalance in a way that, okay, you might have a stronger bot lane, but then they would have a stronger top lane or something like that. So you cannot really focus on a specific bot lane, but of course you can tell if the bot lane, the enemy bot lane, is better than you individually or anything like that. So I'm really looking forward to play the tournament for sure. I cannot wait, even though it's in 2 weeks. Hopefully we will do well.